Class 3 students, welcome to the e-learning class of Rogers Academy. Today we are going to study SST and the third chapter of SST is Changes Around Us. Okay, so as the heading or the topic of the chapter is Changes Around Us. What do we understand by that particular topic? It means in this chapter we are going to study about all the changes that are happening in our surroundings, okay, that is happening around us. Now what is a change? Whenever there is some change, which means there is something newness coming in that particular thing, okay. Whenever there is a change, we tend to grow, isn't it? Whenever we are changing, which also means that we are growing. So there are three categories of changes that we are going to see in this chapter. That is changes happening in the school, changes happening in the neighborhood, and changes happening in the transport system. Okay. So basically changes happens all the time. Since your birth you are changing, right? You were a small baby, then you became an infant, okay, slowly and steadily you have become an adult, isn't it? So that is a process. So every day you are changing into something, okay, just like the weather. If today is very hot, tomorrow might be very cold, okay, it's like that. Nothing is fixed, nothing is going to be same all the time. Everything keeps on changing around us, okay. So that's why change happens all the time. And whenever we talk about change, as I said we are always talking about some sort of a growth or some kind of newness, okay. Whenever we see some change in our surroundings or in our own life, that means we are growing. Suppose yesterday you were the students of class 2, right? And now you have shifted to class 3. So which means you have grown, and at the same time you are adapting to a new class and new books, new subjects. So everything is new, isn't it? Just like that, okay. So changes happens to people, it happens to place, it happens in the school, neighborhood, and also to the types of transport system. What is the meaning of transport? For traveling we need a transport, right? We need a vehicle. So the kinds of vehicle that we have used from the very old time is very different from what we are using right now, okay. In the past, long time ago, there was no aeroplane, there was no helicopter, there was no trains at that time. So how people used to travel? So we'll encounter that, we'll see that as the chapter goes further, okay. But right now what do you need to understand is we are just seeing the changes that happens in the school, okay. So you can take a book when I'm explaining you and see how this yellow box, chapter number 28, this yellow box, this top one, okay. So what is it said over here? Here are some ways in which school changes, okay. How a school changes, we can see that. The number of pupils in a school changes. Pupils means students. You can write over there. The number of students keeps on changing every year, isn't it? And most probably it tends to grow, okay? Usually the number increases. Increases means to grow. And next point, school gets new buildings and spaces. Now, a school infrastructure will also keep on changing with time, isn't it? Suppose at the very beginning, a school building might be very small, but as the students are growing, increasing, the school building has also to be made better, okay. It has to be made better and bigger, okay. It has to have a lot of spaces inside it. And the third point is computers are used in special computer rooms or in classrooms. Nowadays in every school there are computer lab, isn't it? But before that thing was not there. There were no computers lab before, a long time ago, but nowadays in every school computer labs are mandatory. Why? Because things are changing, society is changing, and people are also changing. So according to the demand, computers are very necessary, and also the numbers of computers have also been increased, okay. So fourth point, teachers changes. Old ones leave and new one joins to the school. And the fourth type of change that happens in the school is lots of teacher leave and the new one joins, okay. So that thing is also there. And the fifth point, some schools open another branch in the same city or in another city. So if the school is growing in a very good manner, then that school's branch will be made in the same city or also in the another city with the same name. Understood? So these are the changes that we see in our the schools. Okay, now we come back to neighborhood. Now we come to the next one, neighborhood. What does neighborhood mean? Neighborhood means the place very near to your home, right? So the people who stays near your home are called to be your neighbors. Okay, so today we will be studying about the next topic right now, and that is neighborhood. So you can see in page number 29, okay, the area around your home or your school is called your neighborhood. Clear? The places where you stay, be it your home or your school, is known to be as a neighborhood. Now, some things found in your neighborhood are, what do you find in and around your neighborhood are buildings, isn't it? Many homes around you, and also with flats, big buildings, bungalows, shops, okay, banks, schools, restaurant, roadside stalls, eating places, park and bus stops. So these are the places where these are the places which you see or you encounter in your neighborhood. Okay, there could be others as well. Now, how do this neighborhood changes? Firstly, the population also changes, right? Before, the neighborhood, if your neighborhood was not that much crowded, later on what happens? Many people will come into your neighborhood, new people will come and they'll make houses. Okay, even the old shops will be shut down and the new bigger shops will be opened, like malls and good big stalls. These are the changes that we encounter in our neighborhood. Okay, so even the new restaurants and roadside food stalls are open. Roads are made bigger and wider so that cars and vehicles could travel easily along with the people as well. Okay, then traffic increases. New trees and plants are also planted in some of the neighborhood. Old trees are cut down. People who used to work on the roadside, such as cobblers, the one who mends the shoe, may no longer be there, isn't it? Right now we don't find them coming and visiting our neighborhood because there has a lot of changes made in our society. Okay, and there may be a new street lights. So these are the basic important things or the changes that we see in our neighborhood. New houses coming in, new shops coming in. So these are the basic changes that happens in the neighborhood. Okay, so we come to the last point, and that is transport system. Now, as I said, you can open page number 30. When we use a vehicle of some kind to go from one place to another, this is transport. Okay, if you want to visit any place which is very far from your home, you need what? You need a transport, right? You need a vehicle. So when we are moving from one place to another, it's called as a transport. Okay, you have learned earlier that there are 3 kinds of transport move on: land, water and air. Okay, so these are the 3 types of transport that we see in and around us. One is land, the other one is water, and the third one is air. Land means, you can take an example of car, motorcycle, scooter. These are the examples of land transport, something which is run on the land. Second, water, ship, boats, cargoes. These are the examples of water transport. And the third one, helicopter, plane. These are the examples of air transport. Okay, so that is how these things have changed over a period of time. Earlier these things were not there, but right now there is a lot of changes made in the transport system. Okay, you can see the same page. In the beginning, people only walked from one place to another. At the very beginning, when the human society developed or started, at that time there were no sort of transport available, so people used to walk by foot. Okay, they used to walk and they used to visit the places, and it used to take a lot of days. Okay, they had no vehicles. They carried heavy things themselves or used animal to carry them. So they used to carry all the heavy things by themselves, and certain times the animals were used to carry the heavy baggages. Okay, after a very long time, the wheel was invented. So after a very long time, what was invented? Wheel was invented. Something new was made. which was not there earlier. This made things easier. So with the invention of the wheel, things have become very, very easy for the people, and people could easily travel with a less amount of time from one place to another, okay, not wasting much of their time. Then something new was made which was not there earlier. People could have carts pulled by animals which carried them on heavy load. This was the first transport. So animal transport was the first transport used by human beings, okay? And slowly and steadily many such inventions were made, and advancement was also been there, okay? The wheel was very useful invention. Much later, various types of transport that use wheels were invented, such as trains, bicycle, motor cars, and airplanes, okay? Now people still use vehicles with wheels, but the types of vehicle has changed from earlier ones. Understood? So these are the types of transport that has been, these are the types of changes that has happened in the transport system from the earlier days until now, okay? So if you can see the book, there is also the types of transport, okay? No city in India had the metro 50 years ago, but now we have it, right? We have metro cities as well. Also about 50 years ago, towns had many cycles or cycle rickshaws and a few cars, but nowadays we can see everywhere there's lots and lots of cars, right? But these days there are auto rickshaws and many different types of cars. So these are the changes, or the types of transport system that has been, changing with time. At the very beginning, as you can see the drawing over here, the first one was cart, like you can see this, okay, over here. The first one was cart, okay. The next one was carriage. This is how transport system has been evolving, like changing and growing in a more better way. Cart, carriage, cycle, bus, okay. And you can turn the page. See, train. Earlier it began with the train, then came the metro, then the auto rickshaw and car, and on water. These are all on the land, okay, land transport system. Then we come to water. See, sailboat, steamship, cargo ship to carry heavy goods, and in the air we have aeroplane, helicopter. So these are the types of transport that has been coming each and every day, okay. Every day the changes are happening around us. Understood? So the last topic that we will discuss in the chapter is pollution caused by modern transport. So though our life has been made very easier with the modern transport, such as this car, vehicle, train, metros, and aeroplanes, these have made our life very easier, right? We don't have to waste a lot of time. We can reach to the particular place in just an hour, right? But what are the disadvantages of this modern transport? The first one is obviously pollution, right? Pollution is the main cause. Most of the transport that we make make our lives comfortable, no denial over there. It makes our life very comfortable, but the petrol or diesel used in the engines makes the air dirty. This is called pollution and is harmful for us, for our health, for our body. And you will learn about this pollution in the later chapter, okay? And also, as you can see, things don't remain the same. Changes keeps happening all the time around us. So this was the chapter. I hope you have understood. We have studied about the changes that is happening around us. Change always leads to growth and newness, and also leads to an advancement. Whenever we are growing, whenever there is a change, we are also becoming more and more advanced, okay? So changes happens all the time in our society, to the people, place, school, neighborhood, and also to the type of transport system. We have studied about the changes that happens in the school. We have studied about the changes that happens in our neighborhood, and we have also studied about the changes that happens in the transport system, and also the types of transport. I hope you have understood the chapter very well. If you have any doubt, then let me know. Till then, thank you, take care, and stay safe.